Buenas, buenas, mi gente. Bienvenidos once again to another episode of Hablamos Spanglish. Como siempre, I am your host, Ana Carolina Salazar, and today we have a truly inspiring guest joining us, Gisselle Martinez. She's not only an incredible immigration attorney, but also the co-founder of a nonprofit dedicated to helping immigrants right here in Central Florida. Our conversation isn't just about her impressive work, it's a heartfelt exchange between friends who share a passion for making a difference. Giselle's journey is a testament to resilience and determination, from arriving in the US from Colombia at a young age to becoming a fierce advocate for immigrants' rights. Her story is one you won't want to miss. Join us as she opens up about her experiences, the challenges she faced, and the unwavering drive that led her to create a nonprofit firm that has assisted thousands of immigrants. Gisselle Martinez embodies inspiration, passion, and a deep commitment to overcoming fears and embracing diversity. So don't miss out on this inspiring conversation with Gisselle Martinez in our new episode of Hablamos Spanglish. Únete a nosotros and let's learn together. Hi, Gisselle. Welcome to Hablamos Spanglish.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Of course. I'm so excited to have you here. I've been wanted to interview or have this conversation because more than an interview, I think is more of a conversation to get to know you a little bit better. We met last year. It was last year.
I think it's almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years. Yeah. Oh my God, year and a half. Yeah. When we both received this incredible award from the Orlando Business Journal, the 40 Under 40, and after that, our life have crossed paths.
Yes, a lot. Yeah,
a lot. So very excited to have you here, so you can tell us, who is Gisselle? Can I Gisselle?
So that's the first question. Who is Gisselle?
Yes.
Okay, so I am an immigration attorney. I am originally from Colombia. I immigrated from Colombia when I was 12 years old with my family, my brother and my parents. And eventually I became an attorney, but a lot of things happened between that and becoming an attorney. And my passion has always been helping immigrants. So that's what I did after law school. I became an immigration attorney, and eventually now I'm a nonprofit director because I created a nonprofit to help immigrants with their legal status and the immigration legal work.
And I love that of you because you have done so many great things in our community. But I want to, let's start from the beginning, right? So you're from Colombia. When did you decide or your mom, when did you guys decided to come to the U.S. and, change your life completely?
Right. So, I don't truly recall much because I was 12, but I remember my parents being like, "Oh, we're going to the U.S. My aunt is married to an American man, and so he was gonna come to the U.S. for come back to the U.S. He was living in Colombia for many years, and he was come back to the U.S. and I guess he invited my parents to, hey, come over with me and, kind of have a new life. Okay. And that's how we ended up over here. Yeah.
So you were 12. So at that time, usually kids, they get the language pretty quick. Was it easy?
I don't think it was that easy. Even though we were young, I think it's still at an age where we were not that young yet, and we moved to South Florida, and I think that was I think that was the issue. That a lot of our classmates spoke Spanish too, and so it took a little bit more. And also, I was telling you earlier, I'm a twin, and so being with my twin in the same class, we just talked a lot, of course, to each other. We kept to each other, so it did take us a little bit longer to learn English than I think the normal 12-year-old.
Do you have any fun anecdote from
God,
that time? I have many. Oh my gosh. But because I don't know, for me it was at the beginning I didn't want to learn English.
You were like...
Yeah, I was a rebelde.
Yeah, I remember kind of feeling that way, same like, oh, how can we go back? Like, I wanted to go back. Like, I want to go back to Colombia with my friends. I think when you're 12, you have that age where like you're making friends and all that, and I just wanted to go back. But yeah, I mean, I think I remember I've always been a nerd, right? I wanted to be the best in school and got the best grades. And I remember having to take like the FCAT or something and like doing terrible at the FCAT because I didn't know any English and being kind of crushed with it that I did so bad. That I did so bad even though I didn't speak any English.
Oh my gosh. But you know what? It's funny because I remember they will give us extra time to take the FCAT,
I remember that, yeah. And still,
I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna learn English from if you give me more time.
Right. I remember
That's so funny. Oh, now, so when you were in school, right, you learned English, and then what, inside of you told you this is what, what I'm gonna go to school for?
Right. I don't remember exactly the point. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I don't remember the point where I decided this, but so my aunt's husband, who I told you is an American, he's an attorney too. So he was in law school when we came to the U.S. So I think I was kind of like that. Okay. I had that role model to go to law school. And then I always tell the story that when I was in law school, I was like, I'm not going to do immigration. I want to make a lot of money. And as I was going through law school and doing my internships and all that, I realized that I didn't want to do anything else.
Oh, wow. So why did you decide to do immigration? I don't know. Was it something that maybe what you went through when you migrated?
Definitely. What we went through, we were actually undocumented for a few years before we got our papers. My dad was actually undocumented until maybe I was in my 20s. Wow. So we really went through the whole process of being undocumented, then getting our papers. I was lucky enough to we got our papers when we were 16 or 17. Okay. So it was before we went to college and all that situation. So we had no issue with that. But we still had the issue of always being worried that maybe my dad was going to be deported or something was going to happen to him. And so that really, I think, made me think, okay, I just want to help people like that, like my family.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful story because sometimes we don't take that route, right? We take the other one. But just to realize that, hey, I can make a difference and I can help more people that go through this is beautiful.
Right. I think every time, at some point, I interned for a firm that did like commercial litigation, and I was like, "What is this?" There's no people, like actual lives, people's lives involved. And even as an attorney, I did a little bit of family law, which also has that people factor to it, and still, it was just like it didn't feel important enough for me.
Oh. And so you have your nonprofit, right? So that's at another level, right? Because it's not only helping immigrants, right? I'm going to become this attorney, but also creating a nonprofit. How did you get there?
Right. So I started working for private attorneys when I became an attorney, and I was doing immigration, but for private attorneys. And I did work for a nonprofit for a little bit. The nonprofit shut down because of lack of funding. And then I went back to working for a private attorney. And then Melissa Martinez approached me and she said, "Oh, I really think that there's this need in Central Florida for a nonprofit." And I was working for this private attorney where he's amazing and he does great work, but we were charging so much money to some people, and some of our clients just really couldn't really afford it. So I really thought, this is kind of what I want to do. And I love that idea that she said Central Florida needs this, right? Yes. If you go to Miami, there's a lot of nonprofits that do immigration. But in Central Florida, there was one. Wow. So it was really a need in the community. And in Orlando has an immigration court that serves all the way from the Panhandle to somewhere south, Fort Pierce area around. And so all that area didn't have nonprofit representation. So that's why we decided this is the right thing to do, and we get to help the people that I couldn't help in the other for-profit business. So
that's beautiful. And what do you say has been the most rewarding experience that you have experienced so far?
I think, every day I get this rewarding experience. And not, sometimes it gets tough and sometimes so it's not too rewarding. But just last week, I went with a client to his citizenship interview, and he was so nervous. He's like an elderly client. He was just hyperventilating, and I was just trying to, calm him down during the interview. And then at the end, his citizenship was approved, and he went and hugged the officer. He hugged me, and he was just telling me like how thankful he was for me to go with him and give him that guidance. So even just the little things, it's just so rewarding every day.
So on Friday, right, we were at this event with Hope Community Center, and Nancy Alvarez said something that was really, it stood with me, which was to give the immigrants like her mom, right, a good path to citizenship, right? So and I think you are doing that, because I will say that if all immigrants were treated as human being, because sometimes not all are treated rightfully, right? So it will change the course, because we come here for to become because we're looking for to do something better, right? With our life, we're looking for searching for opportunities. So what do you think about all that? I know you are a huge volunteer, and I'm passionate about what Hope Community Center does. Felipe was here in Hablamos Spanglish, and share with our audience about them. So, but I know you are a amazing activist also in that aspect.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love Hope. I actually work for them once a week. So what they do is amazing. And they inspire me every day, to really, sometimes I get so much into my everyday, having like the legal services and representing clients and having to go to court and all these things, that I forget. I need to take a step back and forget that the advocacy part of my job, right, of immigration, and how, like you said, a lot of times it's a lot of ignorance as to who we are as immigrants, not seeing us as fully human, or sometimes politics and politicians say things about immigrants, about us not being rapists or race, or coming to
delinquents,
coming to traffic drugs, but right, but in reality we're just entrepreneurs, and we are people who really come here to seek a better life and to work really hard for our goals and for what we want.
And you see beautiful stories, I bet, every day, right?
Yes, all the time. We work with a lot of children, and so it's so beautiful. A lot of them come with so many goals, and it's so nice to see them plan going to college, or what's their next step once they turn 18. They're always looking for what's next, instead of what people think, like, oh, looking to steal our jobs.
Yeah, exactly. What's Giselle's, I don't know, like your biggest dream, regarding immigration, or diversity, inclusion? This topic is so big right now. Sometimes we cannot even talk about. We feel like we cannot even talk about it, but it's something that we need to talk. Hopefully, one day we don't have to. But what's your dream regarding
I mean,
that?
we definitely need immigration reform. We have just millions of immigrants here who contribute to society every day. Like we said, they're building businesses, they're paying their taxes, and they're already here, and they've been here for many years. Some of my clients come to me and they're like, oh yeah, I've been here for 20-something years. I have one client who got her green card not too long ago. She has a pupusa restaurant, and you go and she brings me the best pupusas, right? So we need immigration reform. We need a change to help these people who are already here, who are human, who have children here, who have lived their entire lives here and contributed to society. I it would be the best thing that could happen to me, that I could be like, oh, we can file this application for you. And I can get you your green card, because they truly deserve it, And I do understand that maybe there's some immigrants, I think a minority, that might be bad, and we can do something with them. But there's so many that are just amazing people that just deserve a second chance and deserve a green card to be here.
No, definitely, definitely. And you're helping, to get that, hopefully that goal may come true, right? That dream may come true. Gisselle, hablando de ti. So now, because I know your husband, so he's from Venezuela, right?
Yes.
So how did you guys met? Tell us a little bit about that
story. So we met actually at a networking event.
Oh my gosh.
So I got a job in Daytona for that private attorney I was talking earlier, and I didn't know anyone in Daytona. I just moved for the job, didn't know anyone. And one of my coworkers invited me to a networking event, and that's how we met.
Oh my God.
Networking.
And I asked that because he's from Venezuela, right? So and Gisselle is from Colombia, so I love that mix.
Yeah.
So, los dos comen arepas, me imagino, pero diferentes. ¿Se pelean?
No, I learned to make my own arepas.
Okay.
Where I make them like the Venezuela style, but I put like a Colombian twist to it.
Oh, there you go. So you mix
so we both like them. So we stuff them, which, Colombians, we don't stuff our arepas, but it has like cheese in the dough,
Okay. I would like to try
little
that.
Colombian.
So, and you said that he also has a great story, and I would love to have him here at Hablamos Spanglish.
Yes, yeah, that's a big thing. Another reason, that I advocate for immigrants is because he was also undocumented for many years. He's actually DACA, so he was a dreamer, and he was detained by immigration for a few months. So definitely,
yeah, no, he's definitely a story that we want to share. So I'm gonna be asking you some questions now that you can answer with the first thing that come to mind. Okay. To learn more about you, Gisselle. So, what's a place that you would like to travel here in the U.S.?
Oh, in the U.S. I've been really wanting to go to like the West Coast, somewhere like Oregon, somewhere up north. I feel like it's so far away.
Yeah, but it is far.
But like Portland, Oregon, or something, that would be a really cool place to visit.
Okay. What's your favorite sport?
I don't really do sports.
No, but do you watch any sport? Nothing?
Not really. I watch the World Cup every four years.
That counts. Oh gosh. Okay. Favorite music?
Well, right now I love Shakira. Oh my God, I love how much she's representing Colombia. I'm obsessed. I'm also a big fan of EDM music.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, what's the other question? Okay, the other one is there somebody that you would like to meet, that you are, that you really admire and that you would like to meet?
Wow. I haven't thought about that.
No.
That I want to meet right now. I mean, I think in general, I just want to meet like powerful women,
Okay.
I don't have one in specific, but lately I've been kind of really thinking about that idea of meeting more women that are in, position of power.
Okay.
And like, how did they get there? I think that's really interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah. And I love that. I think, when we met, that's something that, that I saw on, the women that were there at that event, right? To be recognized, but, the OBJ. But then I saw an opportunity too, which is to create more community around women, because I think we need it more. What is it about that you have, that you want to meet with women? Is because you want to get inspired and want to learn about their stories?
Yeah, definitely. I think as women, we don't have as many role models that we can, that people would talk about on TV all the time, or but we're there, right? Like, those powerful women are there. They're just not. I don't think they don't get the recognition that they should. So I think that's definitely we need to give them more of a platform. So I love that.
Yeah, and I will recommend you because that's something that I was looking for. It was not only to step out of my comfort zone because I always stay within my Hispanic community, right? I always did networking with my Hispanic community, made friends within the Hispanic community. So I wanted to kind of, step out of my comfort zone, and I joined the Dinner Party Project, which is I highly recommend that you do it because it's we meet I think it's every 3 months. So we do meeting quarterly, and this is with a group of women that I didn't even know. I hadn't met. So now we became great friends. We share our work experiences. They are my biggest supporters. So I really,
you need to invite me.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there someone that you would like to meet?
Me? Oh, you're interviewing me now. Me? Oh my gosh, I do have a list of people that I would love to meet, and I will say it's in different industries, right? But I am about to meet her. I actually interviewed Claudia Romo on this podcast, right? But virtually. And tomorrow, in 2 days, I'm meeting her in person.
That's awesome.
She's an amazing advocate for the Hispanics here in the U.S. And I love her work, and I have been following her, and I admire her. So I'm about to meet her, but and learn more about her and the. I think more in a personal way.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited about that.
That sounds great, yeah.
So that becomes my goal for the next year, is also like setting some goals that are achievable. So now I'm trying to do that and make it happen. I told my team, like, you know what? I'm going this year. That was my goal, to meet this lady and to have her on the podcast and to be on this event, and we're making it happen. So
right. I love
do you have any goals for 2024?
So 2023, I had all these goals, and everything got derailed.
That happens. So, yeah.
So I'm hoping 2024, I just my husband and I just starting a new business, so we're hoping that goes well and takes off.
Yeah.
And then my hope is for my nonprofit, we're growing a lot, so my hope is that for next year we can get the organization kind of in the right track, get it organized, get everyone on the same page, because it's been hard to grow so quickly.
Yeah, you guys have grown because there is a huge need. So
right, exactly. So we went from 2 of us 6 years ago to 17 of us now.
Oh, so, that's amazing.
So that's my goal for next year, is just really making the organization a really well-oiled machine.
And I have seen some of the behind the scenes with the project that you're working with your husband. Can you share it?
Sure. Yeah. So last year we started an Airbnb business, and so we have a
here in Orlando.
Yeah, so we have an Airbnb near Disney, and it's a Super Mario theme for children. And so the next one, we just got another property, and the next one would be Marvel superhero themed Airbnb, also near Disney. So
that's nice.
The idea is to keep growing that as well.
I love it. I think that those projects, and I want to share that with the audience, right, is that you can set your goals, right, to not only you have your vision for the nonprofit, but also then you have your project with your husband and you're making it happen. I think that's why I always say this is a country where, you need to work hard, because, yes, a veces nos echamos broma y decimos estamos en los esclavos unidos. But you make your dreams come true.
Right. I think the last year or so, you just need to go for it, right? Like, if this is your dream, you just need to take action and go for it, and things will work out.
Yeah. And Gisselle, before we go, is there an advice? And I think now that you mentioned that part, is it an advice or, message that you would like to, maybe two, one for our audience that is Hispanic, and then another one for our non-Hispanic audiences?
Wow. I think what I just said is a good one. Really visualize your goals, like figure out what you want and go for it. Don't be afraid. I think it's easier said than done, though. You know? I have a lot of fears, but try to conquer your fears and go for what you want. And I think especially for the Hispanic community, we come from maybe not being able to have a lot of dreams in our country sometimes because maybe the economy is not great, politics and all this. So I think, like you said, the U.S. is the place where you can come and actually follow your dreams and take that step. And then for the American audience, I think it might be the same, but at the same time, a big thing that I would like to encourage them is to step out of your comfort zone of meeting people that are not like you, so the people that speak another language or people who are from another country. And I think you learn a lot from others like us.
I love that because it's doing the same thing that I did, or we do always, right? It's like the approach, right, of meeting, hey, let me do it. It took me years to do it, but finally did it, and it has been the most incredible experience because I think sometimes everything is in your mind, right? I thought that they were going to look down on me because of the accent. They weren't going to understand me or, those kind of things, but it's in your mind. Right. And I made amazing friends in the past year just because of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Amazing.
Well, thank you. Gracias, Gisselle.
Thank you.
For, being here at Hablamos Spanglish. I really appreciate you and everything you do for our immigrant community and for our community here in Central Florida. And, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. You too. I love that you're a businesswoman and I love what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, mi gente. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey of Hablamos Spanglish. It is a pleasure for me to explore the diverse stories and experiences within our vibrant Hispanic community. I hope that you have found inspiration, connection, and a deeper appreciation for our culture and heritage. Remember, our stories are what unite us and what make us stronger. Stay tuned for more captivating episodes in the future, and don't forget to follow us on social media and share your thoughts with us. Hasta pronto.